Today you are going to need your sketchbook, a pencil, a black marker, hopefully 2 different sizes of marker or 2 different sizes of black materials, and then crayons, markers, or colored pencils, or possibly all of those things, because we are going to be using a variety of colors. So a green marker and a green crayon are going to look a little bit different on your paper, and we need a variety for each of those colors. Today we are going to talk about warm and cool colors. When we talk about warm and cool colors, we need to talk about the color wheel. When we talk about the color wheel, we usually start with our 3 primary colors, red, yellow, and blue. When we mix our primary colors together, we get secondary colors. When I mix red and yellow, I get the secondary color of orange. When I mix yellow and blue, I get the secondary color green. And when I mix blue and red, I get the secondary color purple or violet. They are the same thing. Once I have the color wheel in place, I can split the color wheel in half. One side has warm colors. My red, orange, and yellow are my warm colors. They remind me of the sun and of fire. Sometimes they can make me feel angry, like red, or excited, like yellow. On the other side of the color wheel, I have my cool colors. My cool colors remind me of grass or water. Sometimes it can make me feel sad, like the color blue, or just calm, like the color green. You are going to be using warm colors and cool colors in your art piece today. It really doesn't matter if your sketchbook is standing the tall way or the long way. Either way will work for this. We are going to start by drawing a rectangle inside of the edge of our paper. We are going to end up with a black frame around our piece because of what we're going to do towards the end. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to draw some koi fish. So koi fish are kind of an oval shape, stretched out, or like a teardrop shape stretched out, and then something simple for the tails. I started with ovals. As I worked, I went more towards that teardrop shape. We are going to add 3 to 5 of these fish on our picture. When we look at things, our eyes like to see odd numbers. So an odd number, so 3 or 5 would be good. And it is also good to try to get your fish to come in off the edge of the page so that they aren't all completely in view. That adds a little bit more interest, a little bit more depth to your picture. After you are done with your fish, we are going to come in and add lily pads. Lily pads are just ovals or circles with a rectangular shape cut out of them. So if it works better for you to draw an oval first and then take that piece out, you can. Or if you can just draw the shape with that piece missing, that works also. Again, I'm taking these off the edge or out of the frame of view so that it adds a little bit more interest. It creates that overlapping. Now I'm going to take my Sharpie and I'm going to outline all of my pencil lines and then erase any of the pencil lines that I can still see. This includes the frame that I originally drew. Now you need to pick a different type of black to use, something hopefully that's skinnier than your Sharpie. I am using a black Flair pen. You could use just a regular black pen if you wanted to, a black colored pencil, a black crayon if it's your only choice. And what I'm going to do is just draw all around my picture, making swirly lines. So this is where I'm going outside of that frame too. What I'm doing is I'm breaking up the rest of my picture, almost like stained glass, to create this effect where we're going to put in different versions of our colors. Now I need to take my frame and color that in. I chose to use just a black Crayola marker, and I'm going to color over those lines that are outside of my frame. So I don't want to see those swirly lines that are outside of my picture. You could use a crayon, you can use a colored pencil, you can use a marker, you could use your Sharpie if you have that too. Now I'm going to color in the lily pads in my picture. So I need a variety of greens. In my markers, I only have one green. In my colored pencils, I have two. In my crayons, I probably have some more variety. I have a dark green, a forest green, a light green. So if you have crayons, that's probably going to give you the most variety just in that one supply, but you can use crayons and markers and colored pencils because they are going to look different. So inside my lily pad, I am going to color in one of the shapes that I've created by my overlapping swirly line with a green. And then I'm going to color in the next space with a green. My goal here is to not have two of the same greens side by side. You can do this with 2 or 3 colors. You just kind of have to pay attention. It's like a puzzle, how you can put those colors together so they don't touch side by side, but they can touch on the corners. Now I'm going to continue with my cool colors and color in the water with my blues. So my blues and my greens, those are those cool colors, again, that remind me of water and grass. I am picking a variety of blues out of my crayons to use so that I have some dark blues, I have some light blues, and I have a regular blue. Just like with my lily pads, I want to make sure that I'm not coloring 2 of the same blues next to each other, and I just start filling in this background. You really have to pay attention to where you are coloring to make sure that you don't accidentally color inside one of the fish. So be aware of that dark, thick black outlining that you did with your Sharpie, because that tells you that you are going into a fish. I'm going to alternate back and forth between the 3 blues that I chose. You can use more than 3, and again, if you want to mix crayons and markers and colored pencils, you may. This will end up again with a stained glass effect once it is finished. Once our background is done, then we are going to start coloring in our fish. For our fish, we are going to use warm colors. So reds, oranges, and yellows. I chose to stick with oranges, so I used a yellow orange, a orange, and a scarlet, which is a really, really red orange. You can choose anything from yellows to reds to oranges. Those are all our warm colors. Pink is a warm color also. So any of those colors that you want to use in that warm group will work. When you are finished, make sure and take a picture and upload to Artsonia so your art teacher can see it. If you have any questions about this project, please email your art teacher.